tell you things you wanna hear, they say, well, I need love, what would I do without you? But at the end of the day, it's a game. So many miles and I'm moving the same way. But you know where it goes. She's been moving so fast, I've been taking it slow. And chase is the funniest thing, but see, I'm not at the end of it. I'm not at the end of it. It's what you give. It's got me locked up, feeling hazy. I cut all the lines, but it's crazy. So I say what I always say, like, is it what you want? Is it what you need? Is it something else you need? Did for me?
私がアカウントなんて持ったら
I'm caught up, I'm lost in the game. I move right, they beg me to stay. And I've been feeling broke up since I woke up, but it's a new day. When I say what I needed to say. And you know where it goes. She's been moving so fast, I've been taking it slow. And chase is the funniest thing, but see, I'm not at the end
Greetings, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Points. Oh, it feels so good to see all of you tonight. I hope you've all been really good. I hope you've been taking care of yourselves. Oh, you make me feel so good. Oh, you make me feel so good, chat.
Yes,
I can't
yes.
help myself. I think I'm going to. Greetings, my esteemed. Oh my goodness. What is happening right now? Everything's all messed up. Did someone let somebody into the building? Because I didn't plan for this. What is this? What is this on screen right now? Somebody's made me very, very angry. Pardon me a moment while I clean up here. I'll be blinking in a second, Mitsura. Regardless, while I'm fixing things in the back end, how is everybody doing this evening? My evening was going quite well, but it seems like more than just what has happened on screen is taking effect. Whoever took charge of all of the social medias also didn't write the message correctly. You sure it wasn't any of you in chat tonight? It's okay. You can let me know. Alright. Come on. There we go. Are we all set up? The camera's rolling? Everybody's still here in one piece? Let's try this over again, shall we? Greetings, everyone, and welcome. I said, welcome. Oh, of course. Now that's broken too. Someone got a hold of my light switches and everything. Welcome. I guess I'll do it myself this time. Yes, it is all real, Mitsura. And I am here, I suppose. Despite the interruption, I believe we can continue with the stream. How are we doing tonight, everyone? I hope that the week has treated you well, and that there have not been many altercations. We have a very, very special friend on tonight, my 22nd member of the show. Trust me, she was extremely hard to track down. It's okay. Well, injecting somebody else with poison is certainly a way to get my mood up just a little bit. Thank you, Silver, for gifting your 150th sub on the channel. You're certainly, what they would say, a big simp, as it were. Well, there we go. The mood has been shifted. While we sit here and relax and vibe, those of you who are lurking in chat at the moment and haven't been a part of the Discord, I do urge you to join, if that show so intrigues you. Join. Oh, it is all broken, isn't it? Intriguing. I swear, honest to goodness, whenever I want something to work for me, it decides, no, we're not going to work for you tonight. What is wrong with you here? You are listening to me. You better be listening. Well, that's fine. Does guest work? Guest? Whatever that phenomenon was, and whoever was sitting in this seat before me seems to have messed everything up. And I don't like it. Working is for dweebs. Well, I am certainly one of those dweebs, I suppose. There we go. We will do it the good old manual way. Regardless, I hope that everyone is having a good Friday. I know that it can be quite harrowing to make it to the end of the week and deal with that last day before the weekend. If you don't work a traditional Monday through Friday, then congratulations. You're about to start the weekend, as am I. And I wish you the best for this weekend. It's going to be a doozy. I hear it's supposed to be a little bit hotter everywhere. Over here, it's very stormy. The weather's been all over the place, so... Goodness gracious. It's still here. I erased this. Is every single scene of mine infected with this? Whose idea of a sick prank was this? Okay, we're not gonna let it affect us today. Tonight we are calm. There we go. Cool and collected, as they say. I just wanted to be closer to those that watch along, my esteemed watchers. Not stormy, but it's damp and humid and my head's about to pop like a balloon. I am so sorry, Mitsuna. I understand how that feels. Hello, Bonnie. You're coming into a bit of a scuffed stream. It seems somebody messed with all of my settings. I had to take care of some defective parts. That is definitely going to be struck from the VOD, I'd say. Goodness gracious. Alas, it is the Vampire Queen herself. Ah, my goodness. Oh yes, I also updated my... what is it? Timer? One of the timers for Nightbot. Nightbot-kun will let you know that if I see you in chat, I will wave at you during the interview, as to not distract during those times. Speaking of distraction, we've had quite the big one. I'd say that we've wasted enough time, and I haven't had the chance to meet with all of you yet, but we do have somebody waiting for us. So... You haven't waved at me yet, boss? Okay. Hello. Hello, Nyx. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Mitsura. Hello, PK. Hello, Silver. Hello, Blaze. I believe that is everybody. And also, hello to Sleepy Demon VT. Thank you for the follow at the beginning of the stream. Oh yes, and Tank. Tank was in there. Thank you for the posture check and the stretch. we are definitely going to need it as well. We're going to change and shift gears to a better, more entertaining stream. Oh, yes, and thank you for the hydrate. We'll get all the care package redeems in. I'm actually going to make a redeem specifically referred to as care package. So. All right. Without further ado, introducing our guest for this evening. It's Sascha.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Sascha, and welcome on in.
How you doing?
I am doing quite well for
my
myself.
My frame rate is terrible. What the fuck? Sorry.
Uh-oh. Low frame rate made. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. I am noticing that video is outputting at a pretty low, speed. Is that what's going on here?
I am not 100% sure, actually.
It's I mean, No, go ahead.
Contrary to popular belief, as much as I've had my guests use Video Ninja, I don't think I have used it a single time myself.
I might have to restart my internet then, because I didn't think it was going to be like this then.
No worries.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Should I like introduce myself proper?
Oh yes, go for it.
Okay. Hold up real quick, actually. I want to try something first.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
Now up, and she's gone.
Yeah.
Vanished. Gone in the blink of an eye.
You know it. Okay. Try it again with this link now. Let me see if this works.
On the fly.
Oh, it's the same link. It's the same link, actually.
It is the same link. Are you caught up, though? You're a little low, but you are caught up.
It's all right. I'll reset my internet if need be.
Okay.
Sorry for holding stuff up.
You're totally fine.
If you say so. All right. So then I guess I'll just like fucking introduce myself then.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm TooMuchSascha. I'm the Chernobyl battle maid. I came here as I came to the zone, the Chernobyl zone, as a mercenary before disappearing for 2 weeks and getting up to some weird shit. I stream mainly horror games, FPS titles, Slavjank, and I talk a lot about music. It's kind of just become something I do a lot now. But that's me, and it's a pleasure to be on here, Iris.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you for joining me this evening so late. I know that it is technically a free night for you, but it is midnight 30.
It's
in your
almost
time
1 a.m.
zone.
now, actually.
Yes, goodness gracious. How the time flies.
Yeah. How it does, yeah. Shit.
Now,
but it's good to be on.
There was a burning question that's Bonnie asked in chat, and we need to know.
Yeah?
How much, Sascha?
How much, Sascha?
How much, Sascha? How much is too much, Sascha?
Could we go with like 2,000 millisieverts? Is that good enough?
I mean,
we'll go with 2,000 millisieverts.
Okay, I could take that.
I think that's enough. I think any more than that would count as too much, I would say.
Okay. You know, you speak this jargon, though I don't understand it too well. All I have to base it off of is that it's radiation measurements.
Yes.
And is that it, just on a base level, like an extremely basic level?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm at least initiated in the ways of radiation. They do put chemicals in the water that do turn me gay, so I'm glad that I'm on top of things.
You weren't just like this to begin with?
No, surprisingly not. See, when I played in the tar pits as a kid, then everything kind of spiraled downhill from there.
Yeah, I see how it is.
Mm-hmm. Pollution. You wouldn't believe how good it was for the planet, actually.
Oh, Jesus, that's a fucking statement to make. Fuck.
Well, with that question answered, I want to get into the traditional beginning question that I ask all of my guests that hop on for the stream. Last week, ID10 asked, what is your favorite PC game that was released before 2010?
Oh, it feels like this was... Did ID10 know that I was next in line?
Nope, nobody knows who's next.
Oh, this feels like this feels too easy. This feels too fucking easy. Because my favorite video game is the game that I stream every fucking Tuesday.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling.
Shadow of Chernobyl came out in 2007. So, low-hanging fruit. I know it's not super discussive, but yeah, Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah, and there you have it.
God.
I had a feeling
That's
that this would be an easy question, at least for you to answer, without a lot of thought. But ID did ask me a question after we ended stream that I'm going to give him a double whammy this time around. What is a running gag in your streams or your community that you can showcase for us today?
That I can showcase?
Oh, yes.
Oh god, a running gag? There's a couple of those. Some of them have been a little bit neglected in recent days, but there are a few of those. I mean, as it seems, ever since like February, the one that's kind of been the big one with me and my people for some reason is Popcorners.
Oh my goodness.
Specifically, the Popcorners Breaking Bad commercial seemed to be like the thing.
Yeah, I'm glad that I have only seen that commercial once, and that is the only experience I need, I believe, to understand fully the power of Popcorners.
Oh god, yeah. It was over for me as soon as Spiral showed me that stupid fucking thing. Then I started making it a big thing, and then I just then I made a meme about it, and then Patch made a project about it, and it all just spiraled out of control. And then I had Popcorners with fucking dipping them in Pepsi for a stream in like March.
Ah, goodness. Were those okay?
This shit never gets better. Were they okay?
Yeah,
like,
was it all right to do the Pepsi and Popcorners?
You're not gonna ask if I was okay. I see how it is.
I mean, you've survived that experience.
Perhaps I may be for the worse then. But I mean, they weren't too bad. I did it with sea salt popcorners. Everyone kept telling me to do it with kettle corn. I said that'd be too easy because it's too sweet. We need some dissonance. We need some flavor dissonance. So I did it with sea salt, and it was. There are worse things you can ingest, I guess. It didn't kill me.
Your physical health is in decline. Your mental state is on haywire because of these.
I don't really think those change that actually. But moving on.
Yes.
Shit.
But oh yes.
They were all right, I guess.
Chance did bring up a good bit that I also enjoy when I pop into your streams is when someone says a whack thing in chat and you zoom in on it after pausing for a moment and you call them out.
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot of fun. Yeah.
Usually if I could have a soundboard, I'd hit him with a vine boom, but I feel like that would get old pretty fast.
Yeah, soundboard here is muted for more reasons than just being on the show, of course.
I meant in my own streams, like that too.
Yes, this is true. What is a mental state? Is it like a liquid or a gas? Sometimes, I don't even know myself.
I don't know what mine is, but it sure is not solid, I'll tell you that. Fuck. God.
The question is, how many times can you eat everything? Or anything at all, to be specific.
You can eat everything at least once.
That's true. I mean, sort of. Because what if that one thing kills you? Now you can't eat everything.
Well, okay, not everything, but anything once.
There you go.
I think that's the important stipulation to make.
Well, honestly, yes, I agree. I think that as much as I have not been exposed to the popcorners bit, I can see where it's definitely been prevalent in your community as of late.
Yeah, God. I held out as long as I could. I held out for like a good week or two after that Breaking Bad commercial hit. And then I was just at my job once and I saw him and I was like, I don't know, I was like, it's been a rough week, I should treat myself. And then I started eating them all the time. It got bad, Iris.
Would you say it is an addiction?
Flavor. It actually isn't an addiction because I haven't had any in a while. There was that time I was on OST actually, and I gave the answer for a question. But my mic was muted, and then Pidge's OBS crashed, and then I gave the answer again, but my mic was still muted. People were like, "Sascha, your mic," and I'm like, "Shit, sorry, I'm eating popcorners." like I actually was. It was
Oh
bad.
my goodness.
It's fucked up.
One of these days, you'll be on stream, your own stream, coming back from eating popcorners, and everyone will know because you'll be muted.
It's already kind of happened once or twice, actually.
Intriguing.
It happened during the re-debut, because I forgot to unmute myself after playing the lore video, and people were like, "Sascha, your mic," and I'm like, fine.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I was eating popcorners.
Look, alright, they were tasty, that's all that matters.
Well, as long as they taste good. I actually have not had them yet. Are they... this might be like blasphemy. I'm sorry, I apologize for blaspheming this, but are they like a bugle? Just a little bit lighter?
What the fuck is a bugle?
You've never had a bugle? Hold on, I'm sending you an image of this right now.
No, I haven't. That's like an instrument, Iris. You're talking about eating an instrument. Are you good, homie?
Maybe. Yeah, the witch finger, like, yeah, you put them on your fingers and they're sharp.
That doesn't help.
All right, I'll help you.
I don't know what this is.
I'll send you the image.
Is this just like a I'm too bougie thing? Is that what's going on? Am I like too bougie to understand this?
You know, maybe they don't have them in Chernobyl. That could be the case.
Yeah, no, we can't eat these in Chernobyl, dude. You see all those like little nooks and crannies in there? That's like all spaces for there to be radioactive particles. One of those is probably like a fucking mini elephant's foot.
What? And you're telling me that popcorners are safe, though?
Yes.
I need you to elaborate as to how popcorners don't have radiation.
They simply don't. Popcorners just are built different. Like, it's the delicious explosive flavor of popcorners that counteracts the radiation. I think they put boron in them.
Is that good?
Allegedly. I don't know. They taste good, and I'm still here, so like I don't know what the issue is.
Okay, so a radioactive wastelander's most important meal is the popcorner.
Correct.
Well, I have learned something new, and if I ever find myself in that situation, I know what I'm bringing with me. At least as many bags as I can carry before I'm shot for the sound and crinkling that I'm making.
I mean, if you're in like the right places, you don't have to worry about that. You come on down to the 100 Rads bar that I live out of, I don't think anyone's gonna shoot you for having popcorners unless you didn't bring enough to share. You did bring enough to share, didn't you?
Uh-huh. Definitely. 100%. I promise.
Good.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to worry about.
And we've zero issues. I get along with everyone just fine.
Awesome.
That explains
Jesus,
the taste.
We spent like fucking 15 minutes already just talking about popcorn.
Listen, it is an interesting topic.
Is it really that interesting? I mean, I just thought they were a tasty snack, and if it wasn't for the Breaking Bad commercial, I wouldn't have started eating them, because I I spent like the problem was like they looked okay in the store, and I think I would have like started eating them sooner had it not been for the commercial, because it was like if I buy them and I eat them, that means that the advertisement's working. That means I'm being manipulated. I can't let that happen. So I started making an active effort to not purchase them when it first happened, and then I was like, it started getting harder and harder. Because every time I saw popcorners, I would think too hard about not buying them, but that meant I was technically thinking about them regardless, and it got really, really difficult to not want to buy them.
And
I did.
And then Walter White pops into your brain, and then now you can't stop.
Yeah, no, you just like you hear like an echoey voice just going, "Popcorners, you're an artist," and I couldn't help myself. It's fucked up.
I think that's plenty interesting, because you worked extremely hard to beat the corporate incentive to buy popcorners. And at the end of the day, they still snagged you.
I was in a whole advertising class, okay? Because like once you take one of those, you start to really see how bad it is with like how advertising manipulates people. So as soon as I took one of those, I was like, wow, this is like, it's so weird. I was like, well, okay, whatever. And I was like, well, I guess maybe it would be okay if I had one. And that was not the case.
Mr. White, need to buy the popcorn. I've never watched Breaking Bad. I've seen it only through clips.
Yo, Mr. White, we gotta add the popcorns. Jesse, what the fuck are... I'm not doing this shit. Not this shit. No.
No, it's great. It's great.
It's terrible.
I get to live my life.
For you. For you.
No. I was banned from doing my Walter White impression, so getting to live vicariously. Nix, our very own resident Nix.
The funny haha spider?
Yeah, the funny haha spider banned me from doing the Walter White impression.
That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
Obviously, it's for good reason, because that bit went on for hours, so I don't blame them.
As it should. Fucking Breaking Bad is an evergreen joke.
I think honestly, what it wasn't the Walter White impression. It was the Jesse impression that Buffy and I were doing, because it was incessantly annoying, and it just kept going. It got worse and worse as the night went on.
But the Jesse impression is the best part of it, because, like, that's the one you need to have, like, the least effort for. You just do the stupid, yo, Mr. White, what's up? And then, like, it's funny. Like I was playing TF2 the other day, and I changed my fucking profile picture to Jesse with the soldier hat, and my name was, yo, Mr. White, I'm a WM1, and it was funny, it was hilarious.
You just have to ask Buffy sometime. For the sanity of everyone in chat, I will not be doing the Walter White or Jesse impression.
All right, you heard it here first, chat. Everybody sub to Irisu Paizen right fucking now and bring back... Get it trending on Twitter. Hashtag Iris White. Bring it back. Come on. Pripyat City Hate Crew. Turn yourselves out. Make yourselves known. Be heard. Come on.
Fight back against Nick's Nightfall oppression.
Yeah. God.
All right, yes. We could put the popcorners and Mr. White and all that aside for right now.
Oh, please.
I haven't even started like the main part of my interrogation.
Fucked up. I can't believe Jesse Pinkman did this to us.
Yeah, and I ironically kind of broke my character immediately right off the gate. So this stream's going wonderfully.
Nice job.
All right, so Sascha, on to the real questions. All right, on to the real questions. Sascha, why did you become a VTuber? How did you get from where you were to where you stand today?
Like, how did I become a VTuber? I actually told this story on Post Podcast, but but for the sake of this audience, I think I will proceed to do it again if you don't mind.
Oh, 100%.
I'd been streaming since 2021 actually, as TooMuchSascha, a name that I had to drop once Among Us got big. But it was originally meant to be a reference to the song Too Much Sauce by Future, which is where my name is still a reference to, actually. But I was just kind of like your average run-of-the-mill mic and gameplay, nothing else type of streamer. With like Evangelion VHS edits as my whole aesthetic and everything. But what ended up happening was fast forward to like early 2022, I'm crying on my bathroom floor, and I hit up my dear friend Spiral Galaxy and I say, hey, I could use like a little bit of like company. Are you busy? And Spiral's like, I mean, I'm hanging out in Rocco Farin's server. Do you want to go hang out there? And I'm like, sure. Can I get an invite? And I join in. It takes me like a good like 30 minutes to collect myself, but I join in. And up until that point, the only thing I knew about VTubers was I just assumed all VTubers were like the corpo type. I didn't know that there was like a whole indie scene of people doing so much cool shit with it. So at first, like, I didn't like the idea of VTubers. I was like, oh, this shit's stupid. And then I started hanging out with, like, everybody in the indie scene, especially in Rocco's, like, corner, and I was like, this is incredible. Wait, this is great. I love what everybody's doing here. What the fuck? And then, you know, fast forward, like, a month or two, and I'm hitting up an artist, paying him, like, $250 up front, and saying, hey, make me up some PNGs. And then I'm designing an overlay and everything, and before you know it, I have a fucking debut right under my belt, and it's been less than half a year.
My goodness.
I've been having a great time with it.
Okay.
It's the most fun thing I've been doing.
So you were infected. The indie scene really drew you in, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
What about VTubing has been a positive experience for you? Like, has it helped you at all in certain aspects of your life?
In a lot of different ways, actually. I think the most important part is it's been extremely helpful with gender euphoria. I sort of am still considering voice training a little bit, but I kind of stopped worrying about it a little much. Partially when Monty Moel showed me a really cool little video and gave me a little bit of encouragement about my voice. But also just because, like, I don't know. Like, ever since I started VTubing, I can't imagine my character sounding like anybody else. I can't imagine Sascha having, like, you know, a lighter voice or anything like that. I feel really comfortable with how I sound in terms of my voice tone just because of VTubing and allowing myself to sort of actualize the me that I'm happiest with as this character. And how I look as a person, how I act, realizing that I can be femme and not have to, like, you know, completely push down all of the like, you know, silliness that's really core to me. I could still be kind of a little bit tough and crazy and funny and still be femme, and that's kind of the best way to put it, is that just gender euphoria, I think, is the biggest part of it. Or at least it's one of them anyway.
I see. That is very inspiring, because I actually became a VTuber to explore this part of me that was unsure on who I wanted to be. And lo and behold, it took me like one day to realize, after I didn't even have like a model or anything. I just presented myself the way that I wanted to be presented. And I knew from that moment on that this is what I wanted to be. So
right.
It
was similar with me, actually.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
Awesome. I'm super happy for you, homie.
The I struggled as well with the voice dysphoria. Like, I thought to myself, because I also came from a space of content creation, and I would listen to my old videos and how deep I sounded, and like how I tried to act like this tough guy all the time when I was streaming and making videos. But as I got into it and I just started the stream, it made me feel good to just be myself.
Exactly.
I honestly can't see myself, like, maybe one day I'll give myself some voice training, but right now I'm happy with where I'm at. Especially after I've had...
Can I...
Oh yeah, go for it.
No. Finish your thought first. I don't want to interrupt the host.
It was the weirdest experience for someone to tell me that my voice sounded sexy. Like for the first time in a long time that I've been complimented on my voice.
That'll do it. That'll fucking do it.
Yeah, that's all I needed. That's the biggest motivator for me to keep on doing this.
I can imagine. Like, I mean, I was gonna say, like, if I can say something a little bit silly, I kind of assumed you already had been doing voice training, not gonna lie.
I did a little bit of, like, personal, like, look up the normal YouTube videos that you find anywhere, and I gave it a shot, and I've implemented that, and I just slowly but surely kept on trying. And when I listen to my older, like my first stream till now, I can feel the difference. That little bit of effort paid off, just a little bit, not enough to like strain anything, of course, but
yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I'll bring it IRL really fast. When I'm at work, I do my deeper tones because I work in an environment that might not be entirely safe for me. That has started to feel unnatural and hurt my voice compared to how I talk now. So,
oh god, yeah, I can imagine. It probably just doesn't really feel right because I would imagine if I like was kind of doing that, I'd like fucking hear it like coming out and be like, what is that?
Yeah,
wait, no, that sounds really mean. It's just kind of me nagging on my own voice. I want you to.
Mm-hmm. No, I like. Honestly, that feeling, I understand.
Yeah, it's just me humorizing dysphoria. I don't want to feel like it came across the wrong way.
Oh no. It is like the way that I see it. It is a like a reality that we shouldn't be afraid to face. Like we tackle these problems together, and in our own paces. So it's. I think honesty is the best way to like really look at these topics, because otherwise, like I don't know, we want to project our true selves, the persona inside of us, but our true selves, and trying to lie is weird, you know. I don't know, maybe that's just my own opinion on the matter.
That makes sense. I understand what you mean though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, super cool.
Yeah. I was also going to maybe not sympathize, but at the very least, I guess echo the sentiment when you were saying earlier that this is kind of like something you feel like you really kind of like feel the most yourself doing. Because I will admit, until I started really doing this, I felt really, really lost and scared. And I didn't really know if anything that I was doing was of consequence when it came to what I was creating. Like, yeah, I was making music and I was making some art here and there, but like, I wasn't keeping up with art enough to really like develop a whole lot of motor skill with it. And with music, I'm so intermittent that I fall in and out of it like every half a year or so. So it was like, and you know, like with like attempting to make YouTube content, it was like, this is so fucking draining to even start with. And then it was like, well, how about instead I just kind of do what streaming does? And so far, whether it's, you know, me being able to sort of like talk about things that mean a lot to me, or just show my favorite games to people, you know, make the things that I make for my streams to kind of give myself that sort of unique aesthetic and everything else, to just the fact that I kind of want to be like a symbol of hope and defiance for people. All of it kind of comes together, and it's like, is this what it feels like to have like some kind of like calling almost? Because like maybe calling's not the word, but it's like I don't think I've really felt like I had purpose in anything in a very long time until I started doing this, and that really kind of like lit a fire in me, you know?
A big motivator, and it like, because when you make your character, you're a VTuber and everything, that is, even if you like told your artist to just go ham, that is still your input. That is you now that you've put forth, and people get to see that you put that on a stage in an anonymous way. And it can be very uplifting to, like you said, play the games that you like, to share the music that you like, because now you get to be anonymously real, which is really strange. I guess that's a weird way of putting it, but yeah, I always come back to this quote, and I hope I don't get annoying to the people who have heard this a million times. This comes from Iron Mouse, who says that being a VTuber is like putting on a superhero mask or a cape. You get to be the best version of yourself that you create. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, that actually is a really good way of putting it. Like, I suppose maybe a superhero thing feels a little bit disconnecting for me, because I always associate that type of iconography with an idolization thing.
Yeah.
But I still do understand the sentiment regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's that part of, like, you can be an expressive version of yourself, which is still you. It's not you being fake at all. It's just that freedom of having the space for yourself really opens up the mind, your creativity, your forwardness. Then you learn from your mistakes, of course. It's like a new learning process overall, but I wouldn't change it for the world, personally.
Absolutely agree. Like, I feel like real and genuine can be separate terms in this case, and I think genuine is the term I think really, really fits here.
Oh, yes, 100%. Yeah, it's, and you can feel it, too. Have you ever waltzed into a stream where, like, even if it's a flesh tuber, you just feel they're not really there, they, like, don't care about you at all, they're just kind of talking, and that's it. It's crazy. Then you walk into somebody else's stream and they greet you with the warmest welcome and a genuine question, and you feel welcomed. It's powerful, honestly. I understand why streaming's the big thing at the moment, because there's only so much you can do in a YouTube video to express your emotions, right?
Yeah.
But live, that's a different story.
Yeah. Like, with a YouTube video, when it comes to content where it's like one and done, like uploading, like fire and forget type shit, interaction with your audience is a little bit difficult, and in my opinion, kind of like harder to maintain, because you got to keep up discussion and comments with people and DMs, and it gets so fucking tiring to always be like part of discussions there. But when it's live, it's like the discussion is here and it's now. And that makes it feel a lot easier for me, because I'm the type of person where, like, I've had people be like, Sasha, you ain't talking to me on your DMs, like, why? I see you, like, all on, like, video calls and on streams with people. I'm like, yeah, because, like, that's different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I have the energy to be, like, around people when it comes to, like, calls and talking and physicality, but when it comes to, like, DMs, it's like, the deliberateness with which you have to formulate your words in every single moment gets so exhausting. And I think being live, a live sort of presentation of what you do, helps it feel a lot more genuine to me and helps it just flow easier. At least in my experience, it makes discussion easier.
Yeah, and it is different for everyone, but I can see where you're coming from, because I feel the same way. If as an introvert at heart, I turn into an extrovert when I'm on stream for some reason. I don't know what it is. I become a completely different person, in a good way. But yeah, you did say that your name is. The name escaped me instantly the second that I brought it up, that your name is based off of an album or a song.
It's a song. A song I admittedly haven't listened to a whole lot of. At least
I see.
Not in the past 5 years anyway.
So what's the full name of it and who sang it? Or, well, who produced it?
The song is called "Too Much Sauce," and it's actually by DJ Esco, but it's got Future and Lil Uzi Vert on it. That's actually crazy. I didn't really know about the whole song and the whole credits on it, but it's called "Too Much Sauce" because originally I was Too Much Sus, and the whole idea was this was back when I was playing Overwatch and Siege. I was doing my time there, and the thing was that I would either be lucky or in some cases good enough that I would get accused of hacking by people at some times. So the joke was that I'm sus because like people think I'm hacking because I'm either good or lucky, and that was the whole bit. So I was Too Much Sus, and then that kind of fell through, and I was like, well, I like going by the name Sascha for a lot of personal reasons, so let's just kind of flip it there. I can still keep my overall name and everything else, and still got that ring, but, you know, I don't have to have people coming in and saying imposter every 5 minutes anymore.
Oh god, I could only imagine. Jesus
I got
Christ.
kicked from Killing Floor lobbies for that shit. That was the final straw.
Well, like, they just didn't like the sus part, or they...
Yes.
My goodness.
I some people would like think I was a child because they'd be like, oh, you fucking middle schooler. I'm like, dude, I'm literally older than you. Like, you know, sus as a word has been around before 2020. Do you know that? If anything else, by thinking that it's only an Among Us thing, you are showing your own lack of experience.
Yeah, I can see, or like, I can envision your disappointment that a name that had once brought you that satisfaction of, you know, she's a hacker, oh my goodness, is taken over by the crazed small alien spacesuit people.
Yeah, it is strange. It is a weird sort of cultural, I guess, epidemiology thing to see how cultural perception of small things can in turn affect how we as people are perceived in ways that we most likely can't predict, or maybe even figure out how to navigate in our own spaces and experiences, because it's like, how are you I feel like that's a thing that never used to happen before. Like I felt like fucking, what is it? What's that one Simpsons clip where they, like, Homer finds out a TV show character is named after him and everyone starts treating him differently?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't to that degree, but it's still interesting to see that happen.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how often it does happen to that regard.
I can't think of any examples aside from the sus or Among Us being words that have changed infinitely for the rest of our lives because of one video game. But now you have me intrigued.
There are more.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and I kind of want to do research on this as a topic. So, Chernobyl Battle-Made. Where did this inspiration come from?
So, combining these two things is literally just me smashing a bunch of my special interests together, I will have you know.
Okay.
The Chernobyl part is obvious, because I love Stalker, it's my favorite game, and I've never stopped enjoying it since I first picked it up 13 years ago. Literally spent half of my lifespan playing this fucking Slav jank game. Alright. And it's because it's so well supported by so many creative people, modders, and everything else, so that there's always more to find in it every day. But the Battle-Made thing was a little bit different, because people sometimes ask me where the whole maid thing comes from, and I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. It just dates back to me still being an egg and being like, man, this maid thing looks cool, and maid outfits were like the first way I kind of started to like experiment with like gender affirming like clothing and fashion, because it was like, well, it's a thing that like just is really like easy to try and get into. It's not like it also had like the cosplay aspect. It has a lot of other stuff, and I also just really like maids and anime and shit like that. So it was just like, you know, fucking weeaboo egg Sasha discovers maid outfits, and she's like, oh, this is really cool, I like this. And then after that, it was like, I discovered, you know, a lot of like anime aesthetics and culture where there's like a whole fucking like subculture based around people who think that maids doing gun shit is so cool. And I was like, that's cool. I like that. Why don't I try that? So eventually I started cosplaying it myself. I got, you know, a tactical vest for airsoft shit. I got my rifle and everything. And then when it came time to see if I wanted to make a character out of this and really get into VTubing, you know, I hit up my artist and they're like, okay, do you have any ref sheets? And I'm like, no, but here's what I do have. I do have the outfit. I have everything. Would you like me to just take photographs in the outfit? Because I can get any angle and ref you could possibly need. And he was like, sure. And we rolled with it. And that's what I did for this model here too. I did the same thing.
Oh my goodness. That is awesome. I was also going to say I am one of those people who enjoys the maids doing gun shit. I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite tropes at the very least.
Somebody likes Roberta, I see.
Yes, I enjoy Roberta. I don't know if you've seen the famously historically inaccurate image of battle maids with an IS-3. The World War II IS-3 for absolutely no reason. One of my favorite images of all time. I'll find it for you after the stream, of course. But
you could probably already guess who my favorite Girls Frontline character was then.
It has been a second since I played that game. God damn it.
It was G36.
Yes, there it
because
is.
She's the maid one.
Mm-hmm.
Love her to death.
I need. I want to play it again, but I shan't because it is horrible. It is horrible. It's a terrible game. Don't play it, please.
There are worse gacha titles you can play, but I personally thought that Girls Frontline was was like a pretty forgiving one at the very least.
Yeah.
And for someone like me who was like working and also in college when I first picked it up, it was like, well, you know, I can do the battles when it's the weekend, but right now I just fucking build my fucking characters whenever I'm doing my classes and it's fine.
Yeah. Or you roll, or whatever that version of getting characters for free was. It was like put ammunition and supplies and I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a strange gacha system where you needed very specific wiki combinations to get what you wanted.
And even then it was still a dice roll.
Oh yeah, 100%. I spent...
Like I put in the exact... No, go ahead.
I spent, I believe, 2 to 3 months trying to get Negev. And I quit the game because I couldn't get her. I came back, like, I don't know, a year later just because on a whim, I wanted to play it for a second. The first character I get the first pull is Negev. And
I would uninstall.
I did. Uninstall. I immediately uninstalled the game.
I was trying for P90 for a good year after she dropped, and I couldn't pull her when I was putting in the exact number for her every single time. And I was like, man, this sucks. And then you get to the fucking anniversary. You get to the anniversary when, like, the 1 year anniversary, when they were like, here, we're gonna give you a free mask, and you redeem the mask for a free 5-star of your choice. And then I was like, I went to my partner at the time, I was like, dude, look, I got P90, and they're like, you just, like, pulled it from the token. I'm like, my victories could still be victories, okay?
Yeah, it's still a win. I'll count that.
I'll take a handout. Come on, just once. It's fucked up. But yeah, so to answer the earlier question, it was a combination of just me smashing special interests together and also kind of me taking, like, the first sort of, like my gateway into both, like, gender-affirming clothes and cosplay and just putting them all together. A lot of words to get to that.
Oh, yes. I mean, listen, I love tangents. Tangents are one of my favorite things.
Don't we all?
Though I need to know, if you weren't a battlemate, do you have any idea what you might have been if this wasn't the direction that you went with?
I'm gonna be real with you. I have no fucking clue. I have no... Cause like me getting into like the maid character mindset predates even Sascha. Like when I was like getting into making music more, I wanted my sort of like character of sorts, like my music like association character, to be like an android made from outer space or something. Like a cyberpunk android made. When I was talking to a friend about possibly joining a local post-hardcore band, and he was like, "So do you wanna play bass for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you're cool with me wearing a maid outfit on stage, sure." This has been so core to me for so long that I don't think there's anything else I really identify with quite like this. It's impossible to kind of decide, really. Like, I guess maybe I just kind of go harder in on the hardcore punk thing and be like, "Hey, check it out, I'm your crowd-killing waifu or some shit." It makes me shudder to think. God. I've never felt like fucking like my body was rejecting something so hard than when I said what I just said now. Good God. Fuck off.
What comes to my mind first when you say that is like Johnny Silverhand, but like in that era, that type of band, but you're in a maid outfit, shooting it to the crowd or something like that.
Yeah, fuck it.
Maybe a future idea.
Maybe. There's already an android made that I know, and I don't want to step on her toes too much.
This is true. You got the battle maid thing down, and I think that it fits you. When I think Sascha, I think guns and maid.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as far as like future plans that you have, is there anything that you are planning that you're willing to share with us? Or are you kind of just like going with the flow at the moment?
I'm a very fly by the seat of my dress type gal, but like I will say at the moment, the closest I can think of to that is that I am planning like a pretty big event in December because, you know, Doom, the fucking godfather of first-person shooters, turns 30 years old this December. So I'm planning quite the fucking marathon.
Ooh.
I might even make a subathon out of it, but it's going to be a pretty big event, and I'm excited for that. In terms of, like, just general creative stuff, I'm gonna be real with you. I put everything that I had this year into the re-debut, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna plan something of that magnitude for a while.
That is 100% fair.
So as of right now, it's just me, like, you know, I've got my music streams that I do, and those have already kind of been, you know, like, locked in. And I just got whatever I figure out that I want to do during the week. And for the moment, that's kind of where I'm at. It's just figuring that shit out.
Yeah. Are you planning on doing like an anthology run of Doom during the December?
What, like playing like all of them in order?
I mean, it doesn't have to be in order, but something along those lines. Just all of them that you can.
Absolutely. I'm planning on playing a lot of pretty well-known WADs. I was actually originally going to save my house for that, but I realized that would be doing a disservice to myself. But so I'm going to be planning. I'm probably going to be doing Doom 1, obviously the original Ultimate Doom. Probably Doom 2 for sure. Most likely Plutonia. Probably not going to do TNT Evolution. 3, 2016 Eternal. Probably 64 if I feel like I have the endurance to come back to it. But mostly just kind of like the mainline series and maybe occasionally some really well-known WADs. I'll probably give Nuts a shot on stream because fuck it.
That would certainly be something that I would take time off to watch, actually, because I am like...
Oh, God.
What's the word that I'm looking for? I've lived vicariously through other people in experiencing Doom. I have only played Doom once, and I didn't even beat it. I played it for a stream, actually, for fun, just to see how I would like it with all the, like, unlocking the camera to have the verticality and all that stuff. It was fun.
Cheesy Doom stuff.
But it wasn't for me, right? But I still enjoy watching other people play it. There's something about that run through that hooks me in because it can be fast, it can be slow, it can be challenging, it can be creative. I don't know. I love watching other people experience it more than myself. So yeah, I would definitely watch that one all the way through if I could.
Doom's gameplay loop can be pretty comfy to watch somebody do, I feel. When I play it, I get kind of the same experience or feeling that I get when I attempt to play like a lot of like classic platformers. Like when I the first couple of times I gave the original Mario Bros a chance, like, you know, when I was in my teens and onward, it was like, this is a competent game, it's important, it's very influential, but it's like, is it like weird to say that, like, because of the amenities of modern games and what they mean to us and how they've kind of changed our perception of the medium, that, like, you know, it's kind of hard to get into like the games where everything started because of that. Because it's like, again, yeah, this is cool, but like, is that it? Like you shoot the demons, and then you shoot the demons, and then you shoot the demons, and then you shoot the demons, and it's like, okay, I see. I feel like it would be extremely reductive to say that, like, after 5 minutes of Doom, you've kind of seen all that Doom has. And that's not really a fault of the game's design, it's simply just because that's how things were. And I respect the fuck out of that because, you know, simplicity is something I respect the hell out of no matter what. I love minimalism in a lot of aspects. But in terms of, like, experiencing and playing it, I have a lot more fun playing, like, build engine titles that preceded Doom, like, you know, Blood and Shadow Warrior and Duke. Because Doom is just one step a little too simple for me.
Mm-hmm. Question, do you shoot the demons?
I do. Sometimes I punch the demons, and sometimes if I'm feeling really bold, you will find that I have sawed the demons.
Ah, I see. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get why it is simplistic and the way it was designed, through intention. I would only assume, but that can get repetitive, I will say. Maybe that's why I didn't like it, but like, honestly, I still, like, I can appreciate it. I just don't think it's the game for me specifically.
Doom 1 gets especially repetitive in the late stages once you get to episode 3. And it's like, here you go, pistol start with 3 cacodemons, go fuck yourself. Thanks, Sandy fucking, what's his name? Sandy Peterson, you jackass. To be fair, though, while Doom may feel a little bit, like, simplistic, it's still not as, like, simplistic as Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh, yes.
Wolfenstein 3D is, like, the most you have seen what the game has to offer in the first 5 minutes.
Yep, 100%. Archaic, even, at that point.
Archaic, I think, may be the word, because archaic doesn't have to necessarily mean something is bad or not influential or important.
Yeah, it was, like, it was certainly influential, and it was great for the time. I would say that it's a problem of not aging well, but still, you can have an appreciation for what it did.
Absolutely.
I feel a similar way for, like, if Pinch is listening, I apologize. I feel a similar way about, like, Smash Melee. Smash Melee is a terrible game. Like, honest to goodness, It's awful. But what it did is, like, it sent ripples among all platform fighters and even some normal fighters, traditionally, that you can still feel the shockwaves of to this day. And because of it, I think it's a great game. I think it was perfect. Even though it was the shittiest thing, it performed. Is it dated? Mm-hmm. A little bit. Depends on how you feel about it, but I don't know.
I think the word we're looking for is lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you only get that feeling once, basically. And then...
Yeah. Like, how did Civi put it when he was talking about the, like, experiences of making Wolf 3D and Doom that led to, you know, the strenuous development of Quake and in turn the creation of Daikatana? He was like, fucking... You know why John Romero had an ego? It's because he made the video game equivalent of Thriller in reference to Doom.
Mm-hmm. Well, this
Makes sense, I suppose.
This was also another great tangent. Which again, I love. I love that the conversation flows. I don't know. That means that our brains are bouncing off of each other in a very compatible way, I suppose is a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some questions about you, Sascha.
Go ahead.
What is life like in Chernobyl?
What is life like in Chernobyl?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's a little bit of a difficult question to answer. I mean, to put it in its simplest terms, I mean, I wake up most days, it's like 7 a.m. Either, it's rainy as fuck or it's super overcast, which I don't mind at all, because I don't know what it is about the zone, but the sun makes the radiation a lot fucking worse out here. Like, you ever seen, like, sunburns, right? Like, that's like nothing. Think of, like, your worst tanning salon accident ever. That's like a day-to-day basis out here. It's fucked up. So, I wake up in the morning, I'm hungry as fuck, I scarf down some undercooked rat skewers that I fucking, carved up off of some fucking rodent that I killed, like, I don't know, maybe like a couple miles out. Or, maybe it's like a good weekend after a good, long, hard week of work and killing, I've treated myself to a can of baked beans, because I feel like I deserve it. And then I will deal with the monetary ramifications accordingly for the next month or so. I scarf it down and I wash it down with some vodka to take care of the residual radiation, clean out my gun, load up my magazines, and I get on my way, and then I spend the rest of the day killing or trying not to be killed until I come home when it gets dark and I do it all over again the next day.
It's a simple life.
I come on Twitch and I stream. Yes.
It is a simple life to lead.
There are...
Well, I have to know, though, like, does the maid outfit get in the way of you doing all of that? Like, how do you keep up your appearances?
Absolutely. No, the maid outfit gets in the way all the time. You know how many times I've almost tripped up in this fucking thing running away from a bloodsucker? I've almost died, like, more times than I can count because of this stupid fucking dress. It's horrible. Yeah, I love it.
You still keep wearing it.
Of course I still keep wearing it. You know why? Because it's psychological warfare. Alright? This dress is so fucking iconic to me now that, like, anybody in the fucking zone now, right? If any of them happen to be getting on my bad side, they know whether or not they have something to worry about. Alright? It's like, yo, I saw that fucking maid out here. You know how much gravity there is in a single statement like that? Like you know some shit is about to get bad if I'm in town, and I'm in town if you see the fucking maid outfit, right? It's crazy. It's crazy how much the recognition does for how people look at you. I love it.
I think of I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he was an American sniper. I believe he was an American sniper. I could be wrong on this front too. World War II era, and his signature thing was the feather in his cap. So much so, because he was an extremely good sniper, like, feared amongst all of the other nations, that they put a bounty on the man with a feather in his hat. So other snipers in his unit or who knew about him would put feathers in their hat to protect him, which is kind of cool. I will have to like, re-look into this, but...
So it's like tricking each other into thinking, like, tricking the enemy into thinking they finally got him this one time. And it's like, wait, no, I saw somebody else with the feather. What the fuck is going on, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And they could never bag him. I believe he survived the entirety of the war, too. He has...
That's amazing.
If I'm not mistaken, he is the first person in recorded history to have shot down the scope of an opposing sniper's rifle.
That's amazing, actually. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I could be getting the details wrong. Please take it with a grain of salt. It's been a second since I brushed myself off on that one, but I will relay all of the information accurately after stream.
I was gonna say, are you telling me the poison dart frog isn't a history buff? That's insane.
I mean,
I came onto the wrong
am.
stream then. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this stuff, but I also need that dusting in the brain for those certain shelves that I keep back there. Occasionally, that information gets a little mismatched.
Yeah. I mean, it's more than just creating an urban legend about yourself, too. It's also, like, again, the psychological warfare, right? Because, like, you have your average stalker, take you know, fucking, what's his name, like Yuri Nobody, who just got to the zone, you know, he's fresh out the smuggler's bus, and he's not trying to, you know, get hit by the military. He thinks he can make his way out here, just getting a couple of artifacts and selling them for his family or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna be the baddest motherfucker in the zone. Oh, who's this Sascha bitch? What, she's got like a maid outfit? Okay, whatever. That doesn't sound like a problem. And then he wakes up the next day and he's got like 5 9mm in his fucking cranium, and it's like, well, you thought you didn't have anything to worry about, but you do. It's fun. It's fun to have that sort of surprise aspect where if somebody doesn't know about your reputation, you know, if somebody doesn't know about all the fucking people you buried, it's like, oh, she's got a maid outfit. That's so fucking corny. Haha. Oh, I'm bleeding. Oh no.
Yeah, it is the
It's funny.
power of being underestimatable. And that's
Absolutely.
not even a word. I'm going to make it a word. Because it fits this particular scenario for you. So, like, aside
I'm that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go for it.
I was just gonna say real quick. I'm that fucking 2005 Honda Civic somebody brings to the car meet, and it looks like they picked it up off of fucking, you know, I don't know, Carvana for like $5,000. And as soon as they fucking hit the gas, it's got like the most demonic fucking growl you've ever heard.
And everybody reels. They back up for a second. They realize the mistake that they just made. And then it's too late. They're being shot with a gun.
A shotgun, if you will.
Yes.
What were you gonna say then?
But actually, speaking of weaponry, what is your, like, iconic? Like, what do you go with? Or do you just kind of, like, pick up whatever you have, like, anything goes scenarios?
Well, for lore statements, this is actually something I've been trying to figure out, because I actually don't get a whole lot of art commissioned of my character with them, because most of the people I tend to commission are people in my friend circle, and most people in my friend circle all have their many different reasons for why they aren't really that interested in drawing, like, you know, military equipment with, you know, like, very high degrees of accuracy, which I not only respect, but ultimately kind of, like, prefer at this point, for a lot of moral reasons. It's, yeah, I will have you know that attempting to find somebody to do my PNG took a lot of just time of me, like, shadowing different artists I was following, and over the course of a month, it was just, you know, erasing each one out of their checkbox, going, okay, this person retweeted this gross thing, this person's a lolicon, this one has a fucking Z in their Twitter name or whatever, but that's all besides the point. The point being that I have thought about this a lot, and I haven't really come to a conclusion. But I will say at this point, I think I like the idea of canonizing that my primary gear has been what I initially was equipped with when I came into the zone. Because I, at least to the best of my memory, because I can't remember a whole lot that happened in those 2 weeks before I got this cool little tattoo on my arm here. But at some point, I think I remember that I used to be a mercenary. I was a mercenary of my own, and I came here with this little assault rifle that I brought in that I named Missy after Missy Elliott. Just fuck it. I thought it's funny.
And hey, there you go. Would you be willing to lightly scroll up just a little bit so that we can see the tattoo? Because the
naturally,
yeah, the table perfectly hides it. Let's see. Maybe just a touch more. Never mind. We're perfect. There it is.
Okay.
And we get to see a little bit more of the flowiness of your maid dress.
Yeah, it is funny that I picked a type of location to stream in where you don't really get to see that almost ever.
Yep.
I need to show it off more. But there I am.
Bonnie wants to know, what does the Z mean?
That's a completely off-topic thing. But the Z is a method of what is it? Russian pro-Ukraine invasion Russians use to identify themselves.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
So it's kind of that I see.
Yes.
Okay, because like the first thing that came into my mind was like some form of GFX bot, like that type of thing. But
nah.
Okay. Feeling bad for Dragon Ball. That's completely different.
Fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sasha uses a fucking M4A1 assault rifle because she's a basic bitch, but it's what she came in here with, and it still works just fine.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. I mean, it has been broke many, many times before, but there's nothing a little bit of gun oil won't fix.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Now, I can't help but notice that you got your vest. You have at least bulletproof options. This
isn't actually bulletproof. There's no Kevlar.
Never mind. We'll retract that previous statement. How do you protect yourself without?
How do I protect myself?
Well, the gear for radiation.
Chat, there's no white dots showing up anywhere in the stream, right? There's no like white specks, anything. You guys aren't hearing any crackling. Are either of us glowing? Are either of us glowing?
Well, I don't believe that it can happen in this instance. I'll assure you that.
Okay. Shit, I haven't actually checked my own dosage in a very long time. That might be a problem. I left my Geiger counter back home. You don't have any spare ones here, do you?
No, I don't, but I believe that for now you should feel the most normal that you should feel.
Well, to answer your question at the very least, how I deal with radiation tends to be a way that a lot of veteran stalkers tend to deal with radiation. And that's artifacts.
I see.
I'm not sticking myself with like, experimental anti-rad drugs every single morning. All right? I'm not trying to look like that, so I'm keeping to myself with artifacts do just fine. And of course, it's not super uncommon. You'll see me out there with a mask of some kind. It never hurts to hide your face, even when you're even when you stick out like I do.
It adds to the fear factor when it happens,
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the stretch and the hydrate, PK. So like, you don't even consider things like radioactive preventative suits or anything like that?
They don't really fit my style.
This is true.
You'll see people wearing those if they're going for like, if they're like really doing a lot of work in anomaly fields or whatever. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll hang out in those, but like, ultimately, most of the problems that these things tend to present for the average stalker can be fixed with money. And I'll have you know that killing is a very, very profitable business.
This is true. And it is a living.
Sure is.
And you do that. You take on contracts to kill targets, basically as a way to bide your time there. Yes.
Bide my time.
Maybe biding your time isn't the right way of putting it, but to pass the time. There we go.
Somewhat. I like to think of myself as a multi-purpose hunter. If you have somebody you need me to get rid of, I will get rid of them for you. It's not the biggest deal. I consider myself to be pretty well trained in it. But it's not just hunting people. I hunt artifacts, depending on how well somebody likes to pay for one. I hunt mutants, not just because, mutants tend to present a pretty big problem for myself and other people, because contrary to popular belief, if somebody decides to hire me and says, Sasha, could you please get rid of this person for me? And I come in the next day and say, well, I didn't do it. I got to where you told me he was going to be. I walked into that little house he was living out of, and I saw a bloodsucker feasting on him. I don't get paid. I don't get paid because I didn't do it. So it's kind of not in my best interest or yours if we just have a bunch of fucking mutants running around and killing people. So I hunt those things too. And also they make for very good meals, I'll have you know.
Okay. Even radiated.
Well, yeah, you generally tend to either cook it, you tend to boil the water, use a little bit of alcohol as a sort of purifying thing. People have many, many different methods for doing that. The bar that I currently live out of, our resident barkeep and his kitchen workers have practically miraculous methods of purifying radiation from mutant meat. Granted, it's never going to be perfect. You're still going to get a little bit of spicy air from it, but I mean, like, it's either that or you fucking, I don't know, like, cut off a snork's face and roast it over a campfire. You wake up the next day and you got 3 legs. I don't know. How much of a chance do you want to take with it?
Now I'm curious. My interest has been piqued.
Uh-oh.
Now I want to know what radiation tastes like. You said it's spicy.
Well, spicy is a mannerism I've picked up from some friends who like to refer to radiation as spicy air. Realistically, I imagine radiation tastes the same way having radiation poisoning does, which is tasting iron on your tongue.
Okay.
A very metallic taste in your mouth.
The more you know. Because I didn't know that, actually. Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the earlier signs of it, along with things like, nausea, blurry vision, all the classic cases.
The third leg, specifically, that we're talking about.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Perhaps I should have used a different phrasing, huh?
No.
People, please don't start eating snork legs to try and get a bigger dick, please. I swear to God. It's happened before out here.
And I trust that it doesn't end well.
No, it doesn't. It really, really, really doesn't. This one guy, I think his entire midsection was completely gone from the radiation. Actually, it's bad.
Yeah. The trade-offs are, high risk, high reward.
You give up some things chasing a dream, huh?
Yeah, give up way more than you would expect.
Give up way more. You don't really get to have anything ever again after that, I guess. Oh well. But if you guys ever want some good mutant meat recipes, hit me up then.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have, an MO for the people that you go after? Do you typically go again, for anything that'll pay, or do you target only specific types?
It depends. I tend not to go after your average everyday stalker who's just trying to make a living. I mean, if I find out he's been a real scumbag, maybe I'll take it up, but I don't really hunt down people on my own that much. If I head down to, the average watering hole and somebody's posting a job and they say, hey, Sasha, come over here, I got something for you. And he's like, hey, this guy, double-crossed his entire fucking team, or his whole group or whatever, and he capped all of his boys and he took all their stuff and he ran north and he changed his name and he's going as this guy. Can you get rid of him for me? Do my friends a solid, I'll be like, sure. But most of the time I'll tend to stick to people who are either bandits, your average insane brainwashed person who worships a pile of metal garbage and thinks that the Chernobyl core is some type of holy monument to be protected. There's a lot of those. But in my pastime, I do have a little bit of a story.
Okay.
But after I woke up after that 2-week sort of I don't want to say blackout, but I do have a 2-week stretch in my memory where I can't remember shit, and that was obviously at some point after I came here as a mercenary or was some type of security contractor. I woke up and my phone here just had a little message on it that said, "Kill mercenaries." Now, I mean, I don't know why I would have left this message for myself, because I don't remember writing it, but I can't figure out who but me would have left this message, and I must have had my reasons for writing it, and I'm pretty good at doing what I do, so I don't see why not. So in my spare time, I track mercenary squads, I hunt them down, and I make sure that they're not getting up to any mischief out here.
All right, keeping it safe and secure for the people in the zone. I see.
Somebody's got to keep those labs locked down.
This is fair. Huh? So, sorry.
Apologies for the silence.
You're good. You're good. You reside mainly in a bar, the 100 Rads that you mentioned before.
Correct.
Do you have a signature drink or something similar, like a signature meal that you like to go for?
I mean, I could answer both. If we're talking about a signature meal, I tend to just kind of like fry up your average bloodsucker meat. I like to fry it up with a little bit of adobo powder, actually. I'm really good at cooking it up like that. I find it to be very adequate seasoning for it. It's very unorthodox, at least here in the zone, but I have a lot of fun doing it. I have a taste for spicy things. But for drinks, I would like to imagine, it's a little bit simple, it's a little bit silly, but I think it kind of showcases my sort of, I don't want to say my softer side, but sort of my more like fun-loving side. It's just a little bit of vodka, a little bit of ginger beer, and some fucking grenadine.
Okay.
I've been struggling to come up with a name for it, but I've got 2 working titles.
Oh,
Fuck it.
care to share?
I've settled on either Pripyat Mule or the Shirley Culture House.
I kind of like the Shirley Culture House.
No, Bonnie, I didn't mean that type of bloodsucker. I mean, unless...
Bonnie? Do you taste good fried up and sauteed? Now we need to know. Bring it to the lab.
Now we need to know.
And everyone else at this bar, though, like, do they try to cause trouble for you? Start shit? Or does it quickly get stopped by everyone else, including yourself?
There's a type of general mutual understanding when people come to the bar. Occasionally you'll see some newcomer who, again, is, fresh from the mainland, doesn't really understand the laws of the zone, and thinks he's the fucking, he thinks he's hot shit, thinks he's the big man, and he can just start it with anybody. And usually they get sorted out pretty quickly. Right when you walk into the bar, there's a big calendar thing that used to be some type of schedule or something, but whatever used to be written on it is kind of completely incomprehensible now, because it's completely covered up by somebody's crude marker writing that says, "The world will end if you shoot the barman." So that kind of demonstrates the sort of Chernobyl law here. There's a mutual understanding that if you act up and if you try acting a fool, you don't really get very far with it. At least, not in a place like this. There's nothing to be gained from starting shit from other people in the bar. There's nothing to be gained from acting out, because you're just kind of ruining it for everybody else. This is where people come not just to drink, not just to eat, and not just to network, but to get like their one connection back to what makes us a part of civilization, or at least a shadow or echo of it.
And I would also imagine some form of peace and respite for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a general ceasefire. There are a couple of different watering holes all over the zone. This one tends to be mostly controlled by a certain militaristic faction that are all like all Ukrainian army deserters, or at least most of them are or aspire to be. So this one is kind of tightly under a single faction's control, but most watering holes still all have a single rule of just, if you're gonna fight, just take it outside. Take it outside, dude. We don't want to have to drag you off of your table and, like, fucking, I don't know, cap you or something. I don't know what happens. I haven't seen it happen in a very long time. We don't get a whole lot of people that act like that.
Yeah, I would imagine that if, at the very least, their sense of self isn't deteriorating, they would stop after trying to start something. And all the looks that they would receive in return.
There was one guy named Magpie I got word of who was from up north in the fucking an old train station. He kept just hanging around and spinning tall tales about stupid shit he was doing. And then people caught word that he ended up double-crossing a bunch of his friends because one of his tall tales he was telling was just a literal story of how he left a bunch of people to die. Apparently some guy went and talked to the fucking Freedom Head, and then we never saw Magpie ever again. He was just gone. But I hope his old friends are resting in peace wherever they are. I hope he's not.
Yeah, I would imagine so. When you tout a story such as that, then nobody can trust you. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Not at all. No.
Now, this question is just for me, and you can answer it if you so desire. Afterwards, that's also a respectable place. What's the easiest way to kill somebody?
Oh, you're asking me that?
Yeah.
Okay. The easiest way. I mean, generally in zone speaking, it's pretty by the numbers. If I can avoid a direct confrontation with somebody, I will, because for the most part, your average stalker does not like to travel alone, for very, very good reason. Because even no matter how well equipped you are, no matter how sharp you think your senses are, there's always the chance that you might just be a little bit either kind of off guard, or maybe you're just a little bit dulled from a lack of sleep or some bad food that morning, and then all it takes is one fucking dog to just come out of nowhere and rip you to shreds. So people tend to not travel alone. And in that instance, I tend to kind of just prefer a far-off approach. I'll tend to just, take someone out from far away, and then I'm just gone before people even notice.
Yeah, well, there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
Patience is basically what I'm hearing.
Correct.
All right. Well, I believe that is my personal last question, of course, before we get onto the more traditional stuff that I have. But it is a perfect time for us to take a really quick 10-minute break, run to the restroom, get everything that we need to rehydrate and stretch our limbs.
Sounds good.
Yeah. While we are gone, though, chat, if you have any questions for Sascha, prepare them so that we can, ask her when we get back. We will see you in just a moment. Why is this gone? I don't know why that was there. I swear everything messed up. Whatever happened at the beginning messed up everything. And I'm still reeling from it.
I'm sorry, homie.
It's okay. All right, we'll be right back. Alright, everyone, we are back.
Yeah, it's us.
Welcome on in. Now, if anybody has any questions for Sascha, I believe that this will be the best time to ask, and, well, anything that you so desire, she may answer for you. Maybe. We'll see.
As long as it's not about those 2 weeks.
Yeah, those 2 weeks off the record, we don't know anything about them, because you don't know anything about them. So, I will start off with a question that I want to start asking other people. And you did talk about this drink a little bit, but if you could give me, like, if your signature drink was at the bar behind you, would you go with the one that you mentioned?
I probably would, because I tend to just kind of prefer the sweet taste of a Shirley Temple, and I haven't really actually drank alcohol in a very, very long time, as you probably already know.
Mhm.
I don't have an issue with alcohol, but it's just, I don't know, it's not really for me. And especially considering how much I, tend to be out in the field and doing some pretty dangerous work, I can't really afford to dull my senses, even if it does help with the radiation a little bit. Or maybe that's just an old stalker's tale. Who knows? 'Cause there was poor Bogdan last week. He came in and he thought his radiation would be fine if he just drank a whole bottle of Stoli. And then we were like, "Where have you been, man?" And he was like, "Well, I was like right down in Pripyat. I was like right at the Ferris wheel." We're like, "Oh, you're fucked, man." I haven't seen him around. I hope he's okay. There's a new wooden cross right out front of the bar, though.
Well,
I hope it doesn't have his name on it.
yeah, we might avoid that for right now. PK's got the slew of questions for you, though. So the Sascha, the Sascha Shirley Temple, we could call it, for this bar here.
This Sascha Temple.
Yeah, the Sascha Temple. I love it.
I'll go with it, yeah.
All right. So PK asks, do you have any companions in the zone, or do you tend to go solo?
I tend to prefer solo. I've had a lot of instances where I used to kind of roll around with a couple of people. I would occasionally have some people who maybe wanted to squad up, because, again, the maid dress does come with a certain level of notoriety. My reputation does precede me. Because as soon as people kind of get over the silliness of me running around in this dress, people are like, "Oh wait, no, she's kind of killed a lot of people. She's kind of dangerous, huh?" But so I do kind of get some people who are like, "Hey, yo, you're the Sascha, huh? It must be fucking awesome to be in your squad. Can I roll with you?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure, I guess." And all of them die.
Oh,
All of them die.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one that really stuck around for more than a week. It's really weird. So I used to, but eventually it just kind of got hard to keep them alive. So, every now and then I'll come down to the bar and I'll be like, "Hey, I kind of got like a pretty a rough day ahead of me. I got a lot of work to do, and it's gonna be kind of dangerous. Anybody kind of in the mood for a little bit of adventure?" And then everybody just kind of gives me this look, and they start kind of slowly shuffling away. Some of them turn back to barkeep and start trying to force conversation. Some of them put their PDA up to their ear and they're like, "Hold on, I have to take a call." And I'm like, "What's wrong with you guys?"
I'm okay. I'm all right.
yeah. I'm not cursed. I'm not cursed or anything. And then sometimes people look down at the tattoo on my arm, and then they start turning away. So I don't know what this tattoo means, but people think it's bad news or some shit. I think they're just being needlessly superstitious.
Now, actually, I believe that Mitsuda asked this question in regards to the cross outside. Have you seen the body? Because technically, he's not dead until the protagonist has seen the body.
What, of poor Bogdan, the guy who came in chugging vodka thinking it would save him?
Yeah.
No, I haven't, but I don't know. In this business, not seeing a body probably means that somebody has it a lot worse than just being dead.
This is true.
Or so people tell me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a message. There was a voice call I saw on my like a voicemail message I had on my phone after the 2 weeks, and it was from somebody who claims they must have known me, and they were talking about me in that exact same way. Huh.
Intriguing.
That's worrying. Oh well, I'm sure it's nothing.
PK also asks, do you have a go-to bar food, IRL and /or in character?
If we're talking out of character, anytime I go to any place that happens to be like a bar or gastropub, I'm always going for the burgers.
Yes.
I'm a huge burger head. I cannot ever eat anything that isn't either a steak or a hamburger. I'm just that crazy. I'm not silly like that. But in universe, I really can't turn down some good boar chops, preferably seasoned with a little bit of bruschetta. I find to be perfect.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
All right. I do like me some bruschetta, so I can see the appeal in it.
You could make fucking controller scalp taste good if you seasoned it right out here.
This is
Just
fair.
Don't tell somebody what it is before they eat it, though.
Yeah. You gotta let them experience it first, and then maybe they'll consider that it's okay for them.
Mm-hmm.
And do you collect anything? Asks PK.
From time to time, since I do fancy myself to be kind of a mutant hunter, if I do happen to, take out some bloodsuckers who are, kind of some of the most terrifying mutants out here, there are things that are bigger, stronger, things that pose more danger, obviously. But there's nothing quite like the psychological warfare of something that's invisible, and it runs up and it just completely sucks you dry. The bloodsuckers are kind of the real terror of the zone for a lot of the newcomers out here. So I kind of make it my goal to kind of carve off one of its tentacles if I happen to take one down, and I kind of keep them all safe. I keep them preserved, and I just have a little collection of them as trophies.
And there you have
I've
it.
got enough to make a... Yeah.
Oh, and PK also wants to know if you collect anything in real life.
In real life? Oi.
I've seen some of your collections.
You're talking about my stuffed animals.
Yes.
I guess, yeah, stuffed animals. It used to be anime figures, but I haven't gotten them in a while. At this point, it's mainly just retro games and cassettes of classic hip-hop albums. I've got like a vintage copy of Illmatic by Nas under my bed somewhere. It still sounds great. Got outbid on 36 Chambers by like fucking 3 cents while I was at work.
No.
Biggest L I've ever taken.
No.
It sucked.
Okay. Blaze wants to know, would you fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Oh, fuck. That's... There were rumors of people seeing some irradiated horses out here in the zone, actually. I haven't seen any myself, but from what people have told me that they look like, I hope to God I never see one again. Because, oh, Jesus. But... I think... I think I'm gonna go with the 100. With the 100. That sounds at least manageable.
You think you'll be able to handle them with the amount of ammunition that you have, or?
That's why God invented landmines.
Oh yeah, this is true. This is true. Good old God.
A lot of USS troops tend to have these little butterfly-shaped landmines on them. Good for anti-personnel, but usually if I happen to find one off them, it's pretty good for dealing with whatever might happen to be, putting me on the back pedal these days. It's good.
Yeah,
So, I think I'd be able to handle myself.
Like 100 duck-sized horses.
Yes. There may be 100 of them, but they're still relatively small.
This is true. Yeah, I feel like they would go down quite easily to an explosion, or even just one bullet.
Maybe not one. Maybe not one. I think that's why slugs are a thing, but I'll try it.
This is fair.
If if you happen to have these 100 duck-sized horses, come on down to the Rostock Arena, pay me a good couple of rubles, and I'll give you a good show.
And there you have it, folks. We have a challenge.
Yeah, you know it.
Mana wants to know, do you eat the bloodsuckers? And if so, what do they taste like?
I haven't tried cooking them up because, as you know me, most of my cooking skill are types of food that isn't really possible to make in the zone with the resources that we have. It's not really possible to make, for example, tasty French toast or buffalo chicken burgers with a field cooking kit that you find somewhere in somebody's house. But I do know that Barkeep and his cooking staff make really mean bloodsucker goulash. I have tried it and it tastes great.
All
if
right.
I could eat it every night, I would.
But I take it is a delicacy where you're from.
It's a delicacy. It's expensive. It's also very radioactive.
Yep, there you go. The spicy air taking effect.
Nothing like roasted seasoned meat and a little bit of copper in your mouth, I guess.
All right. This one's the traditional question. Sascha, if you could ask the next interviewee anything, and you don't know who they are, what would you like to ask them?
What's a piece of music that you would consider so important that it is core to you as a person?
Okay.
That's the question.
Perfect. Brain, hold on. I know exactly.
Good,
I heard all of it. It is in my brain. It's the typing part that I'm struggling with.
It's totally okay, homie. It's all good. God, I'm thirsty.
There we go. Yes, I like this question. Ooh, PK does have a good one. Can you ever leave the zone for like a nice night out, or are you stuck there forever?
I'll be real with you. Getting to leave the zone is the end goal of everybody who comes to the zone.
Is there some form of like
pretty easy.
gatekeeping?
Not quite gatekeeping. It's more just like, I mean, if you're able to get past the military patrols and leave, I suppose. It's not too difficult for people to leave, depending on where they are. But a lot of people who come here are just kind of here by circumstance, and they can't leave because they can't afford to leave. Your average poor bastard who comes here is kind of bound because they don't really... how do I put this? Most people are either here to make money because they're not able to support themselves in the mainland for a lot of economic reasons, or they're here because if they try to go back to the mainland, they might be arrested or killed. So, a lot of people come here because they don't have anywhere else to go. Me, however, I think I would have a good chance at leaving. I mean, I don't remember being any type of horrible war criminal or anything else. I think I just remember being a career soldier, so I'm sure if I just kind of like went back home, I think it would be okay, but I feel something kind of calling me here. I feel like there's something kind of tying me here, and I feel really at home here. Wonder if it has to do with the tattoo that I've got.
Maybe.
I'll find that out someday.
Yeah, the thrill of the adventure, as it were. And finally, Sascha, if there was somebody, that you wanted to raid, who would you like to raid?
Ooh, let me check then, actually. Let's see. There are like two different stalker streamers who are actually streaming right now.
Ooh.
However, considering that I don't most of the people that I follow are actually not on at the moment. It's not their typical haunting hours. Maybe Pinch. Want to just do Pinch?
Yeah, we can do a pinch raid. I think that's perfectly fine.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
All right. Well, Sasha, do you have any streams planned for the rest of this week?
I
Stalker.
have Sunday.
Yeah, you do have Stalker. It's Tuesdays now, yes?
Yes, it's Stalker Tuesdays are when I stream Stalker.
Okay.
I know this Sunday I'm going to be doing Need for Speed Carbon.
Yes.
Racing games are a little bit a rarity on my channel, but I play them for the music, and I'm going to be having a really good friend of mine on to discuss its music and talk about its impeccable aesthetic and everything else and why it's my favorite in the series. But if you want some of that, spicy Stalker action, I play it every Tuesday, so look forward to that.
Hell yeah. Well, I definitely will be looking to that oh my god, I was about to try to abbreviate
NFTs.
it. Yeah, Need for Speed Carbon. We'll just make it easy on myself. I look forward to that stream.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. And Sasha, do you have any words of wisdom for the rest of the chat?
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, final parting words for them.
Pripyat City Hate Crew for life.
Represent.
Represent. PCHC represent.
All right.
Sounds good.
Grumblebee Bumble, thank you for the follow. And by the way, everyone who did follow during the stream, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate your patience as we as we conduct these interviews. It's hard to always interact with chat, so I appreciate everybody's patience. You can find Sasha over here, as I have to manually type out all of my shoutout stuff because somebody decided to break everything. And if you haven't already, give Sasha a follow. But with that, everyone, I believe that is the end of the stream. Let us give Pinch all of our love and support. They're playing Destiny 2 right now, because of course they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brain rot is real.
Let's get it.
And I will see you this upcoming Tuesday, because we are interviewing someone very special. Have a good night, everyone. This is always my favorite part, because I don't actually mute us, because I think it's funny this way.
Oh, so they can hear you saying that we're not muted. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can definitely hear you as well.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't know. I feel weird. I've always felt strange about leaving, like, a blank, empty end screen for myself, at least, so.
That's why I have music for mine.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could do that, but it's funnier this way. It adds to the fun factor.
I like rating out when I switch back to a black screen, so you just see the VHS effect ejecting and everything. It's like the TV shuts off right before you raid out. It's fun like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'll have to come up with something special. I've had a few ideas, but
hey, if you need help with anything like that, you know where to find me.
Yeah, you got it. Oh shit, the timer's counting down.
Shut up, Mono. I can hear you. This is ridiculous.
And we're out.